Let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating topic, the divine frequency, and exploring the hidden codes of sound. So we're kicking things off with a massive, mind-bending question. What if the foundational building blocks of the entire universe aren't solid matter at all, but actually acoustic vibrations? I mean, it completely challenges standard physics, right? It suggests that at the very core of existence, there's literally a song being played. And the theory goes, if we can understand these specific frequencies, we might just unlock profound physical and spiritual healing. So let's start right from the beginning. There's this ancient Persian phrase that perfectly sets the stage for our journey today. It translates to God's language of harmony, the secret frequency that makes miracles. Basically, it proposes that miracles aren't just random strokes of luck. Instead, they're the result of tapping into a very precise divine frequency. But to really understand how people have attempted to decode this language, we need to look at how different cultures have approached the raw power of sound throughout history. To start deciphering this mystery, we're first looking east, way back to the Vedic era. This is where ancient Indian sages developed something called Nada Yoga. The goal here was to physically and emotionally heal the body using sound. Through deep meditative states, these ancient sages, or rishis, believed they actually experienced divine sound vibrations out in nature. And they used these sounds to essentially tune out the noisy distractions of the senses, plugging directly into a state of pure consciousness. Now, according to Vedantic literature, the entire universe kicked off with a single sound vibration called sput. Think of it kind of like their version of the Big Bang, but instead of just one giant explosion, it's a continuous resonance that's still happening today. They claim that practicing specific musical frequencies, like chanting Bij mantras, can actually rewrite our internal rhythms. Modern practitioners describe this as literally reversing negative subconscious programming. The text suggests that by aligning your personal frequency with these divine tones, you can harmonize your body's energy centers to alleviate stress and calm a restless mind. There's an ancient Vedic treatise that brilliantly captures the core of this Eastern claim. It says, one can attain Brahma by mastering the technique of nada and its manifestation. So, the ultimate goal of mastering these divine vibrations isn't just to kick back and relax. It's actually a direct experiential pathway to ultimate spiritual enlightenment and truly understanding the architecture of reality itself. But here is where this explainer gets truly fascinating. This exact same concept echoes right through Western alternative numerology, taking us down a highly complex mathematical rabbit hole. Where the Eastern tradition is all about internal meditation, the Western alternative researchers we're examining today, folks like Dr. Joseph Puleo and Dr. Len Horowitz, they focus on decoding ancient texts to find a rigid mathematical structure hidden within them. These Western alternative researchers point to biblical codes. They use ancient objects, like the menorah, to suggest a hidden numerical pattern that actually ties the days of creation to specific mathematical frequencies. They claim that Pythagorean mathematics, which is a system that reduces all numbers down to the single digits 1 through 9, holds the ultimate key to this code. By matching these single digits to ancient texts, they believe a grand, undeniable design starts to emerge. So the absolutely crucial point in this theory is the Pythagorean pattern of 3, 6, and 9. It's believed that ancient mystery schools guarded this pattern as the divine math underlying absolutely all of existence. Even Nikola Tesla famously studied the supreme power of these specific numbers in electrophysics. He suggested that multiples of 3, 6, and 9 form an endless intelligent pattern of completion. And this numerical map leads us straight to what's known as the lost Solfeggio scale. Dr. Joseph Puleo claims to have mathematically decoded the Book of Numbers to rediscover 6 original pitch frequencies. We're talking 396, 417, 528, 639, 741, and 852 Hz. According to the theory, each specific tone, which was originally used in a medieval hymn to St. John the Baptist, is assigned to very specific physical and spiritual healing functions. For instance, 396 Hz is said to liberate guilt, while 741 Hz is associated with awakening intuition. The text claims that the sacred geometry mapping these frequencies forms a perfect circle of sound, intertwining those 3, 6, and 9 multiples into a divine energetic blueprint. It's wild, but every single one of these solfeggio frequencies eventually reduces down to a 3, a 6, or a 9 if you use that Pythagorean math we mentioned. For the researchers, this is solid proof that it's an intentional, mathematically perfect scale of creation. And sitting right in the center of that numerical map is one highly specific, deeply emphasized number that is hailed as the miracle frequency. That number is 528. In the Latin solfeggio, the note mi actually stands for mira gestorum, which translates to miracle. The alternative researchers are following place immense importance on this 528 Hz vibration, claiming it is literally the frequency of love and divine repair. To visually ground these incredible claims, the researchers point to cymatics. Now, if you aren't familiar, cymatics is the study of how sound waves physically manipulate matter. By vibrating a metal plate with specific tones, scientists like Hans Jenny actually coaxed things like sand and water into incredibly complex geometric shapes, looking like solar systems or intricate stars. It heavily suggests that sound literally dictates physical form. Based on this visual proof from cymatics, alternative researchers suggest that the 528 Hz frequency physically repairs human DNA. They claim our genetic double helix is surrounded by clustered water that relies on these exact pristine vibrations to maintain its electromagnetic potential. Now, on top of that, they assert a truly astonishing linguistic claim. They argue that the English language was intentionally and mathematically designed backwards to act as an electromagnetic frequency block, keeping us from communicating in our true sacred vibratory essence. In fact, the source texts make the astonishing claim that 93% of our DNA's primary function isn't just physical instruction at all. Dr. Len Horowitz describes it like this: "Your DNA is really a little antenna vibrating to God, at every second beaming you with love." The theory states that DNA receives phonons, which are essentially tiny packets of sound energy, to manifest our physical form. It implies that we are constantly being broadcasted into existence by these divine harmonic frequencies. Now, if sound is truly this powerful, a much darker question starts to emerge from our source material. Who knows about these frequencies, and who might be actively hiding them? The texts take us right into politically charged territory, proposing a grand historical conspiracy. The argument goes that if sound is the fundamental building block of reality, then suppressing the correct frequencies and promoting harmful ones would be the absolute ultimate tool for controlling humanity. As impartial reporters looking at this material, we have to highlight that these alternative theories strongly allege elite secret societies and corporate entities actively use the 6-based frequencies for control. They cite numerical correlations in names like MI6 and Exxon. Furthermore, the claims suggest that corporate cartels intentionally suppressed Nikola Tesla's free energy discoveries. They even allege that the Catholic Church intentionally removed 152 healing Gregorian chants, including the original solfeggio scale, specifically to alter sacred electromagnetic frequencies and keep humanity off balance. All right, let's step back from those fringe claims for a moment and just compare these two overarching frameworks side by side. On one hand, you have the experiential, meditative Eastern Nada Yoga, which is deeply personal and internal, focusing heavily on energy flow. And on the other hand, you have the mathematical, code-based Western solfeggio theory, which treats the physics of the universe like a giant lock just waiting for the right numerical key. But what's truly fascinating is how perfectly these distinct traditions seem to align. When you map it out, the specific Hertz frequencies and colors of the Western solfeggio scale map almost flawlessly onto the traditional Eastern chakra energy centers. For example, the 396 Hertz frequency aligns perfectly with the root chakra in Eastern tradition. It suggests this remarkable synthesis where Western acoustics are essentially validating ancient Eastern spiritual anatomy. The authors even stretched this concept all the way out to the Reynolds curve of elements, which shows repeating sequences in atomic weights. The theory suggests that whether you're looking at human biology, musical notes, or atomic weights, absolutely everything is built on this exact same repeating, intelligent harmonic curve. It essentially proposes that the periodic table itself is just one big sheet of music. So as we wrap up this explainer, we're really left to wonder, are these completely separate traditions, or are they actually two distinct maps of the exact same universal language? Have vastly different cultures simply spent millennia trying to decode the exact same acoustic blueprint of reality? Whether you're looking through the lens of a meditative sage or a modern numerologist, the implication remains absolutely thrilling. What if you truly could change your reality just by changing your tune,